Hello, everyone. Welcome back or welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Henry,
I'm Sam.
and we are coming at you with a video telling you what is wrong with the college football committee this year.
Because every year, really.
Year.
But we're going to talk about why this year.
There's so many things wrong, and we're ready to dive into it. Well, before we get into this video, only around 10% of y'all are subscribed. That's kind of crazy to me.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
What do you think about that, Sam? That's kind of stupid.
I think that's crazy. I think that number should be more like 100.
But
you need to subscribe now.
Let's make it 100. We are going to get right into this video, and I hope y'all are excited. So today is Tuesday, November 1st. The college football playoff rankings came out today. There are some things I agreed with. Some things were just absolutely horrendous and heinous.
Yep.
I mean, I think the fact that they mess up on this poll almost every single year is just goes to show how bad they are running this entire organization. I mean, football is still football, but when you're putting people where they don't deserve to be, Alabama, it's just...
It's not really just Alabama. Alabama's not in a horrible spot. I don't hate them
Alabama
at 6,
should
but
be above TCU, but we're not going to just...
Whoa. Hold on. All right, let me get into my problems. I'm going to go down the list. All right, look, my problems are as follows. Number 1, Tennessee is fine. I think it should probably go Ohio State, then Tennessee. Ohio State has been so dominant. But Tennessee proved that their defense can be good, so I'm fine with them at 1. My first real problem is Clemson at 4. What has Clemson done to prove that they are a top 4 team? They have done nothing. They have nothing to prove that they're a top 4 team in the country. I think it's ridiculous. They have I think they have 2 top 25 wins. Hold on. And then getting into that, Michigan should be above them, Alabama should be above them, and TCU should be above them. I don't think Clemson is a good football team. They don't have it figured out at quarterback. They benched their starter for their backup mid-game, but then they gave the reins back to the original star. You got to figure things out if you're Clemson right now, and you're still a good football team, but you're not better than the likes of Alabama, TCU, and Michigan.
The poll in this whole entire organization is just clearly biased to the big state schools.
Well, that's where you're wrong. No, that's where you're wrong. The problem is not big state schools; it's big brand schools. I saw on the radio broadcast of ESPNU that the guys who were talking, who had previously been on the College Football Playoff Committee, were like, "Look, we've been on this committee in the past. It is all about the big name brands and who gets in. They are going to do everything in their power to make sure that TCU does not get in. How that happens, I don't know." But, we've seen this before. TCU 11-1, ranked 3rd in the college, in the AP poll, college football playoff poll comes out, and they dropped 3 spots after blowing out Iowa State. They dropped 3 spots for no reason. Then they proceeded to go out and blow out Ole Miss 42-3 when everybody said that Ole Miss was probably going to keep up with us or beat us because, they're in the SEC. But, and then... Yeah, that's all I have to say.
From a money standpoint for NCAA football, it makes sense, but that's not viewers.
Viewers do care about that. Well, here's the thing: it's going to attract more attention. It will. How much attention that is, we don't actually know.
All right, people are really still going to care more about an Alabama national championship game than a TCU championship.
That's my point. People are going to care,
but it still doesn't make it right to be biased on these polls. So not really to get in the nitty-gritty of this, let's just talk about the overall problem that is affecting almost all of the league. My main problem, the big problem, is that the college football playoff poll is just biased. It's weighted. It's to the big branded schools or just the big schools. Because they will get more. It's almost like to script the league just to make it more entertaining. It doesn't make it right at all.
Well, let me put it this way. TCU is 8-0. I don't think we're going to win out. I think we drop 1 game in these last 4, at least. That's a bare minimum. I think we could drop 2. I think that we could drop the Big 12 championship. But if TCU drops 1 game, they're out. They're finished. Alabama drops 1 game.
They're still in it.
They're more than just in it. Right now, there's a possibility that 3 one-loss SEC teams can make the college football playoff. That is a very real scenario at this point. I let that sink in. Any other team other than Michigan or any smaller school, aka TCU, not a big brand school, they drop 1 game, they're out of it. Let's talk about this realistically. 1 game losses. Who's in it more than TCU? Let's talk. I mean, Oregon, USC, I'd say, is in it more than TCU right now, just because they're going to veer away from TCU. TCU drops one game, they're finished, they're done. It doesn't matter if it's to a good team. It doesn't matter if it does not matter. So just keep that in mind when considering the college football playoff. That when I look at these other schools around TCU, below them and in front of them, I see them as a higher opportunity to make the college football playoff, simply because we've seen TCU get snubbed before.
It's honestly just really, I don't want to say rude's not the right word, but I'm just going to use it here. It's rude to the fans and to the people who are keeping this league alive by being fans.
Well, in addition, let me just mention one more thing. When they were talking on the show, and they were talking to the main guy, the head of the college football playoff committee, they asked him, why Alabama above TCU? What's the deal with that? And why Clemson? Well, I'll get into that in a second. But he said, well, we've seen that Alabama is a very complete football team, offense and defense. And hold on. And TCU's really had to come back in games and have to come back from behind and win. Could you repeat that? We've had to come back from behind and win. That shows a team that's resilient, a good second half football team that doesn't give up, doesn't quit, and is able to win games even when things look grim. I don't see a more reason to have a team higher up. You're only mentioning good aspects about the TCU football team. We are resilient, and we are able to come from behind and win games even when things look bad. So you know what? I say that guy's an idiot and that TCU should be above what really is a 2-loss Alabama team in my head. And now going back to my other point, Clemson, why do we have Clemson above anyone outside of the top? I mean, I'm fine with I'm really not fine with putting Clemson above Alabama, honestly. Clemson is probably the worst football team in Alabama. I don't think they don't play anybody. Look, let me just say one thing. Clemson, you need to start scheduling a good football team on your schedule year in and year out. Sure, last year you had Georgia week 1. Start doing that more often. Prove to us that you are a good football team, because otherwise, no one else sees it. You don't play anyone. Wake Forest is the best team you've played all season, and Syracuse comes second. And you did not look good against either of those teams. You are a top 15 team at best right now, Clemson. You are 8-0 by just sheer luck. I don't think you're a good football team. Let me take that back. You're a good football team, Clemson. My point is that, Clemson, you play cupcake teams most weeks. You get like 1 or 2 hard games a year that you barely eke out, and then you embarrass yourself in the college football playoff. You haven't won a championship since 2018 for a reason. Just throwing that out there.
With that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.